Okay, we got to do part two because I pushed the wrong button, but I'm not going to start all over. This is what I'm doing. I'm sitting here looking fuzzy to myself because I don't have my glasses on, but I don't want to do the video with my glasses because I see these two lights, you know, from the, anyway, all that other stuff. So, and I couldn't see my own notes. God help us all. So we have covered the outline, building your chapters, and building your table of contents. Okay, so let's see what else we've covered that. Oh, and there's another site that I would recommend to you. When I mentioned to you about maybe you could start a blog to help you start writing. There's a website called medium.com, and it's where you can post articles. And basically you can, like, if you, anything that you would post on your own personal blog, you could just post it on Medium, and it gives you the option to add a picture, photo, you know, to that goes along with your article that you're writing or your chapter. It could be a chapter from one of your books. It's just called an article on that site. So these are things that can help you get started practicing, because as you begin practicing doing the work of writing, you will discover your own rhythm. You'll discover your own style of writing. You'll hear your own voice as a writer. Okay. So you're not just saying, I want to write a book. This is what I want to do. But you are a writer, and you're discovering the writer within yourself. Okay. So what else do I have here for you to help you get started? Okay. And so another thing that you're going to be doing, you're going to be deciding what you want people to get from the book, what you want them to receive from the book, why you're writing the book. And basically, when you're telling somebody why I'm writing the book and what I hope you receive from the book, what I hope you take away from the book, you basically have written your introduction. That's basically your introduction, saying what the book is about, why you're writing it, and what you hope the reader will receive from the book. Excuse me. And if you want to dedicate the book to somebody or somebody's, then you basically are writing your dedication. I dedicate this book is dedicated to this person for this reason, period. You have a couple of people, you know, like you might say something like, this book is dedicated to Miss So-and-so. She was my English teacher. You taught me such and such and such. Simple as that. That may happen. That may just be for one person. Some people may have several people that they may want to do that to. Your introduction and your dedication, which shouldn't be more really than one paragraph on a page. Kind of keep it to the point. It doesn't have to be these things. These two things are not chapters. Okay. It's just straight and to the point. So you already have that inside of you. I'm just pulling it out of you. I'm drawing attention to it for you so that you'll know that you already have the tools. You already know everything you need to know to write the book. So I'm just, you know, showing you how to pull it out and how to put it to use. And then you have your book. Okay. Couple more things. Do some research. Even if you're writing your own story, even if you're giving your own testimony, do some research, add some numbers, add some statistics, add some story. You can refer to news stories. You can refer to some magazine article where it's written by some expert. No matter what you've gone through, whether it was domestic violence, in my case, it was infertility, you know, go and pull as much professional information as you can to validate your story. Not that you are lying, but as you add that information to your story, it just bumps up the whole package. You know what I mean? It just pulls in a little bit more, and it validates you more as a writer. And you will feel better about the finished product, knowing that you did that extra work. And that's pretty much it, just for basically if you're writing, and of course you would do the same thing if you were writing a book about some certain area of expertise. You know, you don't want to be writing a whole book about what you think, what you thought, what you saw, how you think, how you feel about it. But you want to add, you don't want to be on record not telling the truth or looking like you just, I think you understand what I excellence. Nobody's perfect, but we can all be excellent. That's my saying. Okay, now if you write poetry, and if you've already written several poems, guess what? You've already written your book. You still have your table of contents that's already built by every title of every poem. You only have to consider the introduction, and you only have to consider if you want to do a dedication page. You don't have to do that. But with poetry, you know, you probably do have someone you would like to dedicate it to. You know, but the book itself, as long as you've written poems, the book itself has already been written. All you have to do is decide, if you have a large collection of poetry, which ones you want to add into this particular book. You may break your poems up depending on, like, if you have inspirational poems, romantic poems, women's empowerment poems, motherhood type poems. You know what I'm saying? Just if you wanted to, if you have a collection of poetry that's made up of a lot of different kinds of poems, then you could do a book of poetry for each area that you've written in love, or, you know, overcoming, or whatever it is that you went through, or whatever it is that inspired you, you know. So you may have several books of poetry already based on the kind of poetry that you've already written. So all you have to do is decide what poems are going to be in what book. And you decide what order they're going to come in. You might want to have them published chronologically if you remember which ones were written when, or, you know, it's up to you. Poetry is so free. You know, the rules are, I think, a lot looser for poetry, because it's not like writing paragraphs. You know, if you write by inspiration, that's your soul out on paper. So who better than you to decide? You know, you're not limited. You're not bound by a lot of rules and regulations, you know, about how you're going to have your poetry in your book. So you don't have to worry about, and my last point is, you don't have to worry about the number of pages. You don't have to be concerned that your book's going to be big enough. You don't have to be concerned about, I need to write a book that has, you know, does it need to have 200 pages? Does it need to have 100 pages? No, it doesn't. If you have 10 or 15 or 20, 25 poems, you can publish your little book of poetry. It doesn't have, I mean, who said, you know, you won't, you know, if you write a book, if you publish a book of poetry and you decide that you only have 25 poems in your collection, well, hopefully you won't be charging people $15 for that book. You know, you got to price it accordingly, but there's nothing that says you cannot publish a book of poems that's only has 20 to 25 poems in it, or 10. That's up to you. You could do that ebook. You know, you don't even have to worry about the cost of the cover paper, you know, publishing. You can do it it doesn't have to be a big fat book, is what I'm saying. Even if you do something, no matter what you write, it doesn't have to be 200 pages. It doesn't even have to be 150 pages. It can be 75 to 100 pages. You know what I'm saying? It can be 50 to 60 pages. It's okay. Don't stress about how many pages. What you decide is what you want to share, what you want in the book. Put that in the book. And if it turns out to be 100 pages, fine. If it's 50, whatever the page number, that's totally fine. Just write the book. Okay, so I think I've gone by all of my notes, and hopefully that has answered your questions. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, and I want somebody who knows exactly what I'm talking about to share in the comment section for me. I think there's a device that you can use where you talk into it, and it will transcribe your words, like type it for you, or some kind of way it works like that. I just recently heard about it. And so if typing isn't your big strong point, or writing necessarily isn't your big strong point, I believe there's a device that you can buy. I don't have any idea how much it will cost, but if you talk into it, I believe that it will transcribe for you, type your stuff out for you. So if anybody knows exactly what that is, please share that, because I even told one of my brothers about it, because he's on his second book. And I was typing it for him. I am typing it for him, but then I realized if I had been thinking, I would have told him about that, and then he wouldn't have had to wait so long for me to type his book for him. So, and then once you get it, you know, transcribed, once that little device transcribes it for you, you can still go on to your editing and everything before you get the book published, but that part of it should be taken care of. So hopefully somebody will share that in the comments section. Thank you guys for watching. Now this is part 2 because I hit the wrong button. So if this is the only video you've seen, then there's another one, and I'll have it labeled as part 1. Okay, so happy writing. Go ahead and get to it. Use this video as a guideline to ease your mind and get you started on getting your book written. And I saw an article as far as what I was talking about. Don't be concerned about how many pages. I just the other day saw an article about lazy writers, and it said that if you are a lazy writer, then don't concern yourself with writing larger books. Concentrate on writing smaller books that are like 50 pages, around 50 pages each. And I was like, you know what? I will take that and use it for myself, because writing is work. Even if it's even with all the joy that you receive from the finished product, when you're working on it, and especially depending on what you're writing, it's not glamorous, you know. So if you can think small books, especially to start out, and that may be all you ever write. I mean, who set the rule that says there's no rule that says every book has to be so many pages. So I wouldn't even go too far with the idea of being a lazy writer. So concentrate on 50 pages for your book. And then if it gets to be a little bit more, great. If not, that's okay too. So check out the links that I'm going to have in the description box so that you can download your free copy of Self-Publishing Tips from Cover to Cover, and also other books that I also have published that are on Amazon.com. Please leave me some comments. Leave me any questions that you might want to ask me that I can help you with if I'm able to help you with. Please subscribe to my channel, share the video, like the video, so that I'll know that you are there and that you're watching me. I had to keep doing this anyway, but I would like to hear back from you, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Happy writing. Bye-bye.